Finally, a decent long ball counter manager with a double booster has been released after many disappointing managers. Konami has this annoying habit of always holding back good things, whether it's players, managers, or anything else worth using in the game, and they usually try to trick you into spending coins on the weaker versions first. I'm sure many of you have already wasted your coins on one or two of the previous managers, only to regret it after just a couple of matches, unless you're not a fan of the long ball counter playstyle. Now, this new manager is the first double booster with 89 proficiency in long ball counter to cost 500 coins. For free-to-play players, this is actually a gem. But is he really worth it? In this video, I'll cover all the pros and cons of this manager, find the most suitable formation and the right players, and then show you how to use him to get the best performance out of your squad. Now, for those of you who have never used the long ball counter playstyle, let me explain how it works. Long ball counter is a counter-attacking playstyle that's a bit similar to quick counter, but with some important differences. In long ball counter, your players, especially the forwards, make more frequent forward runs. They're always looking to receive through balls or long passes and quickly launch an attack. It's built for fast, direct football. Unlike quick counter or possession game, long ball counter tactics usually involve sitting deeper in defense. That means your backline and midfield stay compact and drop back quickly when you lose the ball. This helps prevent you from getting caught out by fast counterattacks. Since your defensive line doesn't push up too high, your team is more stable at the back and reacts faster to danger. The biggest fear for any eFootball player is conceding a cheap goal because their defense was pushed too far up or caught out of position. That's why many players prefer long ball counter. It offers a safer, more reactive defense while still allowing for fast, dangerous attacks. Now, this manager helps you bring all that to life on the pitch, and he's the first 500 coin manager with the highest long ball counter proficiency in the game. When it comes to formations, there are a lot of good options out there that you can choose based on your style of play and preferences. But the formation I would recommend is the 4-2-2-2, set up with 3 center backs and 1 fullback, 1 defensive midfielder and 1 central midfielder, 2 attacking midfielders, and 2 center forwards. This formation is balanced and flexible, allowing you to defend solidly and still launch quick attacks. It's a variation of the classic 4-2-2-2 that usually has 2 defensive midfielders, but in this version, you have 1 defensive midfielder with a central midfielder positioned slightly ahead, giving you more control in transition. For the goalkeeper, you need a defensive goalkeeper who has good goalkeeping stats and is tall enough. Now, for the center backs, you need at least 1 build-up, 1 defensive fullback, and 1 destroyer. In my case, I don't have a good destroyer, so I use an anchor man who is strong defensively. The build-up and the defensive fullback play on either side. For the fullback, you need yet another defensive fullback. You should have at least 1 tall and strong center back for headers and 1 quick and strong in 1v1s. Moving to the midfield, the defensive midfielder should be either an anchor man or a destroyer. If you don't have those, a box-to-box player who naturally plays in that position should be fine. If you choose a box-to-box or a destroyer, you will need to apply deep line instructions on them to avoid leaving the position. At the CMF position, you need a player who is good at passing, can score long shots, and is also a bit good at defending. An orchestrator, creative playmaker, or deep-lying forward is recommended. At the AMF positions, use 2 hole players. Hole players make a lot of runs and will give the opponent's defenders a hard time. They also act like wing forwards and provide flanks to the attack. Now your midfield is well balanced. The defensive midfielder contributes to the defense and links the back line to the midfield, while the central midfielder distributes the ball to the forwards and maintains control in transitions. The hole players on the sides provide width and make runs in behind the opponent's fullbacks, creating space for your center forwards. Finally, in attack, you need 2 quick and agile goal poachers who make frequent in-behind runs. You can also pair a goal poacher with another type of forward you don't want to bench. For me, I use a goal poacher and a dummy runner. The goal poacher constantly looks for forward runs, giving you many options in attack. The dummy runner, on the other hand, makes unpredictable movements, distracting defenders and creating space for the goal poacher and the attacking midfielders. With the structure of the team now complete, the next step is fine-tuning the individual instructions. And while these are optional, they can significantly boost your team's performance if used correctly. So, here are the do's and don'ts you need to know. First and most importantly, never assign individual instructions to the whole players at attacking midfield. Whole players have a unique and natural movement style. They make intelligent runs into space without needing extra guidance. Assigning any instruction to them could completely disrupt their movement, making them less effective and limiting the reason we chose them in the first place. The defensive midfielder should be set to deep line. This instruction will make him stay back and drop between the center backs when defending. It's especially useful for players whose playstyles are box-to-box or destroyer, as it prevents them from roaming too far forward and leaving the defense exposed. If you notice your right back or left back pushing up too often and leaving gaps behind, consider assigning them the defensive instruction. This helps maintain your team's shape, especially against wide attacks. Lastly, your goal poacher can be set to counter-target. This will keep them positioned high up the pitch, ready for quick counterattacks. However, keep in mind that counter-target also prevents the player from coming back to help in defense, so use it wisely based on your opponent and game plan. When playing with this playing style, you'll notice plenty of through-ball opportunities, so try to read your player's movements and time those passes just right. It's also important to hold possession when needed, but remember, you picked this style over possession game to win matches, not to cosplay as Barcelona 2011. So don't hold yourself back. Keep pushing forward and create as many chances as you can. Most of the goals I'm scoring are thanks to some pretty horrible defending by the opponent. And honestly, I don't blame them. Defending in this game is tough. But if you're ready to tighten up your defense and stop leaking goals, watch this video. I've broken down every playstyle across all defensive positions. I'm not done yapping though. See you there.